Good morning, guys. We're back here at the lake. We're going to see what we get into this morning. Going to start out flipping around some docks a little bit, maybe around some secondary points. Really going to look for brush today, I think. It's going to be, I'm going to key in on. I'm going to check this real shallow bite and see if that's going on or if that's picking up. It should be getting better as time goes on here. Just really need some cooler nights, and I think it'll really start to pick up. But I'm going to check that again today. Really wanting that to happen. It hasn't happened that well for me lately, but hopefully that changes today, and I will maybe venture out on Main Lake a little bit and see what's going on out there, but mostly going to focus on figuring out if the fish are, halfway back, if they're more towards the mouth, deep docks, things like that. But I know that they should be sitting on some brush piles, so that's what we're really going to focus on today, and we'll see if the bass bite is any better. First bite of the day, took my tail on my worm. Here on the Main Lake, just fishing some docks. Not a terrible little Kentucky though. They're always fun to catch. Same dock, next cast. A large now. Another little Kentucky here on a jig. Main Lake again, skipping that jig underneath the dock in some shade. At least we get consistent bites on it. Little keeper. Another spotted bass. There's a keeper out of a brush pile. That's one so far. Main Lake Point. Nice. Barely. A little guy. Another spot. Man. Keep catching all these spotted bass, even on some deeper piles. This pile here is a secondary point, 20 feet of water. But I'm going to tie on a shaky head real quick. Throw that out on some of the same spots and see if that helps or not, if I get any more quality fish or not. I mean, I've been throwing a 10-inch worm, that's a good size, but sometimes it seems like they bite the shaky head, or the bigger ones bite the shaky head, and then sometimes it seems like the bigger ones will bite the ribbon tail worm. So you kind of just got to mix it up and see what's working that day. But same color, it's plum, just mag trick worm. We're going to start with that and see if we get any other bites around some of these brush piles. Another spot. See you later, buddy. Another little spotted bass. This time flipping very back. There's another solid keeper on a jig. Skipping it up in there, back in a creek here, as far back as I can go, basically. Nothing too crazy. See if we can keep going, catch some bigger ones. Here's the jig I've been throwing too. It's just a one-eye tie, my Ozarks special color, Ozark crawl. I can't remember what I call it anymore. And I just got a little Reaction Innovation beaver on there that I trimmed down to fit, because I don't have any of the smaller ones. I like a little bit smaller ones usually on some of the jig. It's easier to skip with.
jig, but he's in there. Little largemouth. He was in a slip on a brush pile. I feel like all the way in the back, the bite is not all the way there yet. It is better than what it has been for me, but I think like midway back, and then find some docks that are, you know, they're going to be close to deeper water, but fish the shallower side. And if you can find brush on that, that is a definite bonus. That's kind of what it's seeming like to me so far. Another largemouth here. I just swapped up a little Zoom Z-Craw Junior on there because I was running out of my other baits. I kept tearing. Call me Mr. Kentucky today. That's like the 6th one maybe. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day here. Overall, fishing was not terrible, but still not great. Nothing to write home about. So I had 2 ways that I kind of caught fish today. One of them was a little bit more consistent than the other. So the more consistent thing was out on the main lake. It was just on the back side of docks, the shallower side, or along the edges. If you could find any brush, that was a ticket too. Or if you could just pull up on a secondary point with brush pile, you could pretty much comb through it and at least get a bite. Then the other thing was just flipping shallow docks. And that was a little bit inconsistent. Somewhere all the way in the back of creeks, some of the shallowest docks I could find, you know, like the isolated ones back there, which is typical of like when the fish kind of start to transition into the early fall bite. That's what I like to look for. But some of them weren't that far back, or like I was going halfway through a creek and I would find like a little cut. It had shallow water near like a deep drop off, and it was on the shallow side of the dock there. So as things cool off, we start getting some cool nights. The days are, you know, starting to get a little bit shorter. That's gonna get some of these fish starting to move back into their shallower areas and kind of get that bite going on. So fishing, at least for me, has improved from the last couple times I've been out. Like I said, it's still nothing super great to write home about. My best baits today was a 10-inch worm, curly tail, a shaky head did all right, both of those in plum color. And then I caught a couple on a Zoom brush hog, but not as many as I have been. And then the majority of them around the docks was just a 1/2 ounce jig in the Ozark Craw, Ozark Special color, which is just like a brown with a black and red and like a green pumpkin mixed in. And I had that paired with either a Zoom Z-Craw Junior or a Reaction Innovation beaver. Those type of beaver trailers really allow you to improve your skipping because it's a much flatter surface. Things are gonna be changing here at Lake the Ozarks, and the bass bite is gonna continue to get better and kind of get out of this summer lull. So thanks for watching, guys.